Alright, the next story quest is called Fruits of Her Labor, given to us by Hien, right outside of Namai. That would have been better avoided, but at least it did not end in bloodshed, and judging by Tsuyu's reaction, she remains oblivious to the events of her former life. This was no escape attempt. Nay, it seems it was an offhand request of Gosetsu's which brought her to Namai. She came in search of a persimmon. Ha! And they say fruit is good for the health. I do hope Gosetsu finds the taste to his liking. Well, we have certainly taken the long way around, but let us continue on to Castrum Fluminis and our meeting with the ambassador. Alphino and Asahi should still be there, conducting their search. We're taking Yotsuyu with us? What? Why? What possible reason could there be to think that's a good idea? Alright. I swear to God, it looked like a tomato, so if that was actually a persimmon, or if she just got a persimmon off screen, then cool. But don't try to fucking, what's it called? When somebody makes you think you're crazy? Something like fire, right? Why can't I think of the word for that right now? Blaze? No. Gaslight. There it is, sorry. Don't try to gaslight me into thinking that tomato was a persimmon. Do persimmons look like tomatoes and I'm just an idiot? Hold on. Sorry. I gotta know. Persimmon. Images. Oh, yep. Yep. Yep, they look a lot like a fucking tomato. Okay. My bad. My bad, yo. My bad entirely. Okay, so outside the walls of Castrum Fluminis. That's what it's called, right? Yeah. We have Hien, Alphino, Yotsuyu for some fucking reason still, Yugiri, and Asahi. We'll speak with Hien here. It seems our imperial guests have already arrived. 'Tis time to meet with the ambassador. Cutscene. Today I learned persimmons look like tomatoes. We see kind of somewhere within this compound Asahi speaking with his two, black-geared imperial guards he's been with the whole time. They see us approach.
What a pleasure it is to see you once more, Lord Hien. Not to mention my dear sister.
Did he tell her she's his sister? She looks kind of shocked, takes a step back.
A pleasure to see you too, Ambassador. Forgive us our late arrival. You have our people aboard the airship?
He sees the airship off in the distance.
Exactly as agreed. We would leave you in no doubt as to the purity of our intentions. I dare say it was the self-same spirit of cooperation which prompted you to bring Yotsuyu here today.
No, that was an accident.
Indeed. Before excluding her from the exchange, I thought it only fair that you see her condition for yourself. Physically, she is in fine health, but her mind is unchanged.
We see
So I see.
a close-up of her face, unchanging, kind of confused.
But all need not necessarily be lost. In anticipation of this tragic turn of events, I took the liberty of inviting some special guests.
He holds up a hand. One of his guards puts in a finger to his ear to speak into his earpiece. Says something to the young man. And up walk. Is it their parents? Possibly.
Ah, Yotsuyu. You look, well.
Or maybe they're fake parents. I don't know. I don't remember what they look like from. But Yotsuyu looks shocked and then has a flashback. Sees her brother, her mother, her father. She's holding her head between her hands, kind of
Of all the people.
bowed over a bit.
Is something wrong, dear sister? These are our beloved parents. Does not the sight of them bring back sweet childhood memories?
She has another flashback, being yelled at by her dad while her brother looks on. Falls to her knees and hands. The persimmon and the mirror fall out of her pockets. She stares at the persimmon.
Gosetsu. I have to take this to Gosetsu.
Picks up the persimmon. Stands.
It would seem my little surprise was not sufficient.
Hien looks like he wants to destroy the boy.
You needn't glare at me so, Lord Hien. I merely did what any loving son would do for his family. Lest you doubt, I am content to leave the acting viceroy in your care. Pray, treat her as you would any daughter of Dorma.
I wonder if he is... He hoped it might have worked, but at the same time, he picks up the mirror.
Do not grow too fond of this place, dear sister. You will come back to us ere long.
He could be playing a long game as well, hoping that... But he has not handed her the mirror again. She turns away from him, holding the persimmon, staring at it, walks very slowly away. Hien gives the nod to Yugiri to follow her. Both very slowly.
We continue with the exchange as planned then.
I think he's hoping that Yotsuyu will remember and then be like an insider spy, espionage.
Very good. The structure across the river should serve our needs. We shall await you there with the conscripts. If you would bring your captives.
Agreed. Until then, Ambassador.
Asahi gives a small bow. Alphino's the last to leave. It's looking like he's thinking. But follows closely enough. He's still within 5 feet of any group member. The cutscene goes black for a second. We're outside of the castrum again, the walls. I knew better than to trust Asahi, but that was a dirty trick. Still, unpleasant as it was, we have at least put the matter of Tsuyu's future to rest. I have sent her back to the Enclave with Yugiri to give Gosetsu his precious persimmon. Come, let us follow them. Yeah, they could probably use some yeah. Just the two of them are an easy target. You have that look, Alphino. What is it? Oh, nothing of consequence, most like. We can discuss it upon our return. She shrugs, hands out, palms up. We walk on. We are back at the Enclave. Apparently nothing was going to happen on the road, so we just skipped. That's nice. We should pay a visit to Gosetsu and reassure him about Tsuyu's fate. He will want to know that the Empire has finally relinquished its claim on her. I don't dare try to do a Japanese accent, especially like an old
Gosetsu.
Gosetsu.
Are you awake?
I can't fucking do it. I can barely do fucking British if I can even claim to do British. Or
My
Irish
lord,
or Scottish.
Come in.
My lord. I'm sure my British and Irish and Scottish accents are also very stereotypical in some way, but
When Tsuyu returned, her eyes were red from weeping. She spoke not a word, Simply sat and peeled some fruit she'd brought for me.
So it could be a tomato. He looks over.
She then claimed weariness and retired to her chamber.
An empty plate
Tell me, what happened to upset her so?
on a serving disc, platter, whatever, with a cup, a mug. He's still under a blanket.
The
his bottom
ambassador
half.
arranged a surprise reunion with her foster parents. A misguided attempt to restore Yotsuyu to her senses.
Oh yeah, she was adopted, wasn't she? Fuck. And they treated
It was
her like
plain
shit.
their presence caused her great distress, but she seemed otherwise unaffected.
Well, he looked on, smirking, loving it.
Yotsuyu was mistreated as a child, was she not? It was a cruel trick to use her tormentors like that, knowing the pain it could cause.
I like this Asahi less and less.
Be that as it may, he has agreed to allow Yotsuyu to remain with us in Doma. Our primary concern now is to hand over the prisoners without incident and bring our people safely home.
There was one other detail at the meeting which caught my attention.
Here we go. What you got, bud?
I assume you all noticed the rather suspect crates within the castrum. The Imperials were quick to retrieve them afterwards, but I wonder...
I did not notice.
Out with it, brother. You fear they might contain bombs or war machines?
They can't have
If the ambassador wanted me dead,
Big
he has
enough.
had ample opportunity.
for war machines.
No, assassination is not his intent, but we should be on our guard for other acts of treachery.
Every prisoner they're gonna give us has a bomb sewn into them that they... No, they'd probably be aware of that, even if they were knocked out to have it happen.
My lord, forgive me, but
Oh
the
my
lady
God.
Yotsuyu, she's gone.
Can you have someone watch over her that will actually fucking stop her from leaving? For
Gone?
fuck's sake.
I beg your pardons, my lords. I was certain she'd fallen asleep.
Like a ninja or a samurai, someone. Even...
No, the responsibility is mine. 'Twas I who gave her a room instead of a cell. She may simply have wandered outside. We will organize search parties. Might I call upon your assistance?
Yeah. And also, can I give you some advice? Stop being a fucking idiot about her... guard, her watchers. Watcha. Gosetsu can do nothing but sit and be pretty much useless. So the screen goes dark. Another cutscene in this series. We're running around looking. It makes sense that we're the ones that are going to find her. But we hear someone asking for help nearby. There's two on the ground. But, yeah, I go over to one of them. The other is face down, but this one has blood trickling out of his mouth.
Help!
A little bit. Oh, it's his... Wait, it's Asahi's father? Why is he here? Is that his mother that's, like, face down then? We get a flash. We see Tsuyu running around. Don't know why yet. She finds some rubble and, like, pauses to catch her breath. Panting hard, heavily.
If only I hadn't remembered.
Uh-oh. So she does. She has a short stick. A boken, I think? Oh, and it's got a dagger. Okay.
He should hate me.
I think this is the kind of dagger that samurai use to commit seppuku. In fact, she holds it to her throat.
But I will not suffer his kindness. Not after what I did to him.
I think she's talking about Gosetsu, but it could also be Hien. Her eyes are starting to water. She closes them. Tries
Who's
to
there?
steal herself, and that's when her father, Asahi's father, technically, but her adopted father.
Oh, it's you. What are you doing out here in the dark?
God, you sound like a bitch. Sorry. He's probably gonna be a dick, so bitch, dick, whatever.
This is the Enclave, is it? When the soldiers dragged us back to Doma, you were the last person I expected to see.
She's holding the dagger, or long knife, I guess, behind her back. I learned today that the term bitch actually used to be a compliment, because it was short. Sometimes, like, there are some people who have grown up in the U.S., probably an older folk, that like tough son of a bitch. Oh yeah, he's a bitch. Like tough son of a bitch. I think so. Sorry, but now it's definitely not used. If you say tough son of a bitch, then good. If you just say bitch, it's most likely they're going to misunderstand what you're trying to say if you are trying to pay them a compliment, like tough son of, like you're shortening tough son of a bitch, so whatever. Anyway, here we go. Sorry.
You're the bane of our existence, Yotsuyu.
Wow.
A font of misery.
Yeah, I don't take it back. She's definitely a bitch. Not,
You couldn't even do us the simple courtesy of dying, could you? Oh,
not the
no. You had to live and taint us with the shame of your failure. We had a perfect life in the capital, and now they're making us wallow in this muddy ruin like common swine. I don't deserve this.
Now, dear, that'll do. There seems little point in berating the girl when she scarcely remembers her own name. Our time would be better spent contemplating how we're to survive this unhappy predicament.
he walks to Tsuyu. She closes her eyes in front of him
You've kept your looks at least.
for a second.
I suspect you'd fetch a handsome price with the right buyer. Maybe enough to get us to Kugani and start a new business.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's a dick. He's a bitch also. Dick bitch. Tsuyu laughs. Turns away from him. He can probably see the knife in her hand now, because she kept it behind her back.
Ah, my beloved parents. No sooner do I wake from gentle slumber than the world returns in all its cruelty. Yes, this is how it always was. How it was meant to be.
He takes a couple steps back.
Very well. If I cannot escape my nature, then I shall embrace it.
Dagger knife
To the
plainly
very depths I have sunk.
in view.
My soul steeped in spite and rotten to the core. The self-righteous hide behind justice, but I need no such mask.
You could maybe call this a katana, like a short katana, but it feels too short for me to call it that. I call it a long knife, but you could maybe call it a katana.
Father, Mother,
It's too short, in my opinion.
was it not you who made me into this monster? Who taught me the truth of this miserable world?
If you were... Okay, so in Final Fantasy XI, ninjas, as far as I remember, were like the only class job that could use katana. I think samurai could. It was just bad for them. Ninjas could use great katanas, I think. Also bad for them, but not as bad as samurai using katana. Yeah. But, and ninjas did have kunai, maybe mispronouncing that, and they were like really short, kind of like dagger-like katanas. They had a wide variety, but the katanas looked longer in my memory. So this could be, I think it's a long knife. I'm probably spending too much time on this, but it interests me, so whatever. Anyway.
For years I knew naught but the taste of pain and humiliation. But the time has come to savor my vengeance against Doma. Against all my enemies.
I think that means you guys as well.
And it begins with you!
Yotsuyu!
She stabs him in the stomach. Rushes and stabs him in the stomach. Just once. A little bit of blood on the blade, a little bit of blood in her cheek, and then rushes her mom. Stabs her in the back as she tries to run. She's holding the blade with two hands. Looks at it. The blood on it. The blood only on like the closest to the tip, like the third of the blade closest to the tip. Asahi.
Well done, dear sister.
Yeah.
Did I not say you would come back to us?
Has witnessed this from close by.
Brother dearest, what a surprise. You always were a cold-blooded little worm. I doubt you thought twice about sending our parents to their deaths.
Your dagger yet drips with their blood, and you presume to judge me. To be frank, I didn't think you had the strength to slay them so cleanly. A single thrust each. I'm impressed. But surely you can't be satisfied with murdering a pair of doddering elders. You yearn for a deeper vengeance, and the power to see it through.
He hands her the mirror again. But, like, the back of it is weird. So there might be something there that I'm not familiar with. We're back to ourselves. Me.
Please. I don't want to die.
I don't honestly care. Oh, thank God. Okay, I don't have to try to pretend to save you. Cool. Hien runs up at this point.
Any sign of her? What happened here?
You turn to him and explain what you saw.
I knew what would happen if she recovered. And still, I did nothing. You say she left with her brother?
I don't actually know that she left with him. That wasn't in the vision.
Whatever he wants with her, he was willing to pay for it with his parents' lives.
As if he cares about his parents' lives.
But this is neither the time nor the place. We must gather the others.
Gather the others. That was a horn sound. And the cutscene pans up and to the left to a tree for probably no particular reason. We're back in Hien-kun, which is Hien's like headquarters, house, whatever. We've recovered the Neris's remains. Is that their last name? Nauris. And we'll hold the cremation anon. Would that they had never again set foot in Doma. I broke the news to Gosetsu myself. He was quiet. I think it best that he be allowed some time alone with his thoughts. Fruits of her labor is complete. This video is complete. I will see you for the next one soon.